Welcome to the Dr. Amy Adesanya podcast. I have various U.S. and international accounting and tax designations, a master's in tax, and a PhD in business administration with a concentration in finance and accounting. Over the past 2 decades, I have helped several SMEs succeed. This podcast will provide strategies and resources to help startups and existing businesses thrive. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Very excited to be here today. This is another episode, and actually it's the last episode for 2022. Very excited that we've actually made it to this point. This podcast really came alive. The live podcast came alive from October, and tried my best to be consistent and making sure I'm there every week since I came live. And I just want to really appreciate everyone out there that has commented, that has subscribed, that, some of you have not yet subscribed, but you listen to the program or you watch the program. And I'm really, really excited. I'm really appreciative. I'm very grateful to all of you and for all of you, actually. This is the last episode for 2022. Of course, 2023 will be exciting. More guests, more professionals, more people that want to appear. Of course, if you want to appear, go to my website and you follow the process from there. But just wanted to appreciate all of you, and I'm very grateful. And of course, I'm wishing everybody, even though we've not started the program, but I want to start by wishing everybody a very, Merry Christmas and a very wonderful 2023. Some of you have I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce Hanako. I'm sorry, but cannot pronounce it well. Or I'm sorry, I just celebrating the holidays. So just enjoy it and, be grateful and thankful that you're alive today to reach this time of the year. All right. So I know I promised that the next topic I'll talk about is, some of the tips that you can, the ways you can actually reduce your tax liability or pay less tax at the end. Like this is like the end of the year, right? A couple of days left. So what is it that you can really do? What can you do to maximize or to, grab onto anything or everything so that you can actually pay less in 2022, right? I tell people all the time, this might be 20th of December, but the year has not yet ended, right? We still have like 11 days. So you can still do some stuff. You can do some things in your business to really make sure that you're maximizing, your tax position. You're really reducing your taxes, right? Okay. So let me just start right now. So the very first thing you can do is reduce your when I say reduce your income, I'm not going to say reduce per se, but defer your income. What does that mean? Now, assuming you've performed work for somebody, right? You can say, I'm going to bill them in a couple of weeks, and that couple of weeks hits January. You can even bill them January 1st, and then get your payment January 2nd. But guess what? That money will not fall within 2022. So if you feel that you've made good money in 2022 and you said, I really don't want to increase my revenue right now. Yeah, I'll just take my time in billing. That is a way. It's deferring income, So you can go ahead. It's allowed. You can decide to bill your clients or your customers a little bit, maybe a week later. It's just up to you, right? That is a way you can by deferring income. All right, defer income. Okay, and one of the things I mentioned within one of the programs, I can't remember which episode, but I know that I talked about the HSA, which is the health spending account, and the flexible safe spending account is called FSA or HSA. Now, I always encourage small businesses that set that up. Make sure you have an HSA or FSA, because both of those plans are just you pay. You actually can take out money from your salary and put it there, and it's before tax, right? What does that mean? Let's say now you earn $5,000 and there's also a threshold, right? And let's say you put $500, assume just for the purpose of this analysis, right? That $500 is not going to be taxable, right? So go back and look at your plans right? I mean, I know that it's still possible to set up those plans. Now, why is this so important? The the flexible spending account and the HSA, health spending account, or HSA, I believe, is health savings account, health savings spending account. What happens is that, usually when we go to see the doctors, right? We go to the clinic or the doctor's office, we have a deductible. Sometimes some people don't, but most medical plans have a deductible. Some people pay that out of their own paycheck or pay that out of their, maybe they swipe a card. But do you know if you have an HSA account and you pay that money with the HSA money, right? Like maybe that deductible, you pay with that HSA account, that money is not even taxable, it's allowed. You can use that money for the HSA. You can use the HSA money to pay your medical bill, and that is not taxable as long as you don't use it to do something else, Now, the good thing about the HSA, you can carry, even if you put money there and you don't use everything in 2022, you can still carry it forward to 2023, right? So go back and analyze. And if you don't have an HSA or flexible spending account, please, get that situated as a small business. Is really beneficial because people go to the clinic and most people have a deductible, right? So, why should you pay a deductible from your post, not from money that you've already paid tax on, when you have the option of, paying it another way, right? Which is pre-tax. Okay, so get that situated and, make sure you have HSA account. Now, if it's a flexible savings account, that's a bit spending account. Sorry, that's a bit different because they said, how will I say this? Use it or lose it, right? But there are some safe harbor rules there. So dig into that and find out from your finance person, or you want to set up which one is better for you and get that set up ASAP. All right. Okay, so I gave you 2 ways. Another way is prepaying your expenses. Now, there's a safe harbor in the Internal Revenue Service that allows you to prepay expenses if it's within, you're using the benefit within 1 year. All right. An example, you might say, I have some money that I have a lot of income this year. I want to pay for my 1 year insurance, and it has to be for that 1 year. You cannot do 2 years, 24 months. Has to be 1 year insurance, right? That 1 year is deductible because of that safe harbor, because you can do that as long as you're a cash basis taxpayer. Most, I don't want you guys confused. Most small businesses, most of you guys, small and medium-sized enterprises are cash basis, right? Now, if you're out of the US, I'm sure there's something like that, right? Look into your own tax law and see what applies. But this safe harbor allows you to do a prepaid expense that benefits for a period of 12 months. And, you can deduct the full amount. So see what you maybe want to prepay rent, you want to prepay an insurance bill, want to prepay, because I know that there are some bills that fluctuates, right? But there are some bills that for example, insurance, usually insurance is the same amount throughout the year. Or they even give you a discount if you pay for the whole year, right? So look into those bills and say, okay, what is it that I can pay right now, as a small business, that I can take that full deduction, right? We'll sit back and analyze. I know we're in the holidays and things like that, but if you don't want to do it, because we're almost like this weekend is really going to be a lot of fun, sit back on Monday. But it's good for you to sit back, or if you, I would say, sit back with any of these days, because, analyze, talk to the insurance people, say, can I pay for the whole year? I'll be surprised if they will say, no, you can't pay. Usually there's even a benefit for paying for the entire year. All right. So look into that prepayment. Another way to maximize the situation where I'm saying that you want to pay less taxes is your retirement. Now, I said this before, and I've stressed this in one of my episodes, right? I think I'll do better next time. When I say the episode, I'll actually note the episode number so you guys can go and, listen or watch the episode. So I'm going to make sure I do better next year when I say, oh, go to this episode, so that you know that this is what the episode is all about. Now, retirement plans are very good. Why is it good, right? Of course, let's look at the benefits of, retirement. You can retire and get money. That's good. But the good thing about retirement plans is that, you can take a deduction now and it will not be taxable. Of course, there are different kinds of retirement plans, right? For a small business, a good retirement plan is the SEP retirement plan, which is really beneficial to small businesses. It gives a very good deduction, right? Of course, I'm not going to break it down here because you have to go to, go and maybe look at, listen to one of the video on retirement plans, right? But you can also talk to your retirement planner to say, okay, I'm interested. This is the end of the year. Can we set up something this year, right? It's not too late. You can set up. Usually, people in the financial field will even tell you, oh, these are the options. This is what works best for you. But I will tell you that please do look into the retirement plan, right? See what works for your small business, right? See what works. You don't have to be, I know a lot of people, they think that, oh, unless they are Fortune 500 companies, all those things, that retirement plan doesn't apply to them. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's why I said there's retirement plans that fits your own business, your business. All right. So look into that. Okay. Another way to reduce your taxes in this, remember, we're just at the 11-day mark, almost hitting the 31st, right? We're almost there. So, but you know what? You can actually still pay your bills. Now, a lot of people might say, okay, right now I don't have a lot of cash to spend. I don't have a lot of cash to spend. So because of that, I'm not really going to do that. Well, I'm not going to say that, that I'm not going, before I even go into the next statement, I'm telling you now, I'm not encouraging you to have millions of dollars in credit card bill. But at this time, you can actually spend money on
equipment, buy things that you want, as long as you try, do your best to not overspend, so that by January, within 30 days, you paid off, but still you can pay your bills right now, or pay, as I said, I talked about prepayment. You might not want to put that whole cash down. You can actually swipe a card and pay. Now, remember, when we're looking at when we're analyzing payment, is the date of payment. That's what we take when we're doing credit card analysis, right? In the financial statement, is the date that payment was made, the transaction date. So this coming week, see there are deals that you can benefit from. You need, a large amount of stationery. See what is out there, and you can actually benefit by those items. Is there any equipment that you need to buy? Maybe sometimes even things like even basic printers, if you're the kind that might have, some people have printers in all offices. It depends on, like, little printers like that. Look into that. Computers, look at what kind of deal is out there, right? See what kind of deal is out there, and you can benefit from that deal by buying it, put it on a card. Then, the following month you pay it off, and, look at it and see, okay, let me benefit from this and pay it off. Now, you have to be careful when you're paying off debt, not debt. I won't say debt really. When you're paying off, or you're buying any item, right? Or you're paying a bill, because you have to look at the alternative minimum tax. There's some alternative minimum tax is a special tax that is different from income tax. Now, you might say, okay, I'm going to deduct this because, income tax, I will not pay income tax, but the alternative minimum tax might apply, which means that, and that's why I love tax, because it makes sense. Minimum tax, at least an alternative minimum tax. So that means that, maybe there's a tax you have to pay. So note what you need to pay down, right? What bill do you need to pay so that you can get a deduction in 2022? Make sure you note that. There are some payments, like I believe property tax. If you pay in 2022, Even though you will get a deduction for income tax, but because of alternative minimum tax, you still have to pay a tax. So don't rush to pay that property tax if you don't have to pay it, all right? So I would say that analyze which expense will benefit both your overall income tax and the alternative minimum tax, okay? Analyze those expenses and take those expenses in the year 2022, all right? All right, now, finally, although this list is not exhaustive, we could continue all the time, but we could continue for a couple more minutes or maybe an hour, more than an hour, but I'm just highlighting a few of them that is easy to fix, right? Another one is I mentioned this about your vehicle. A lot of people are looking at buying a vehicle in 2022 because this is a lot of car companies are having deals. They're having a lot of deals. And so you might be wondering, okay, which car do I buy? Remember, I talked about the weight of the car. If you want to buy a car for business, I would say that go for the car that is above 6,000 pounds, because why is that important? Because of the benefits of the depreciation, right? Because of the benefit of the depreciation. Now, don't, if you know that you cannot do that over 6,000 pounds, please don't pressurize yourself. But if you have an alternative and say, okay, which car do I buy, to get the maximum tax benefit, I will say go with the one that is over 6,000 pounds, especially if, of course, you're using it for business, right? Right, you're using it for business, all right? Now, although I said the last one, but I'll add one more. Now, a lot of people are traveling now, right? Traveling. If you can include work with your travel, right? If maybe there's a seminar somewhere and you take your family and travel for the seminar, that travel for you, right? Unless maybe your spouse works with you and you guys are going for the seminar together, right? Now, those tickets, they are deductible, because it's business related, right? Some people do that. They say, okay, maybe during the summer, they pick up maybe a seminar or something, and they go there and they attend the seminar, right? As long as, it's okay for you to have fun in the evening, but as long as you have it documented that this is for the benefit of your business, that is tax deductible. So a lot of people do that, travel like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would say that if you're doing that, I would say document. You're traveling, let the seminar or what you're going to or going for be relevant to your business, right? Right? I'm a CPA. If I'm saying that I'm going for a seminar on spas, to go on spa or healthy living, of course, that is not relevant to my business, all right? So, that's an example I'm giving you. So look at what is relevant to your business, right? If it's maybe I want to go for a seminar that, something to do with, a tax law that they have expanded and they want to have it in Miami. And I say, okay, I travel for that. That's deductible because it's something that I know is beneficial to my business, right? So it's very important for you to know what you're doing. And of course, as I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Document. Make sure that, you have the seminar, have that, put it somewhere in the file, document how you attended, and I always tell people there's nothing wrong with the Internal Revenue Service auditing you. Just make sure you have your documents in place, all right? Okay, so I hope I've been able to, give you some tips. I know the year is rounding up, and I know I'm not going to see you until 2023, by God's grace, 2023. But I just want to make sure that I mentioned these and that you can just sit back and say, okay, let me just quickly cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that I sit back. I know this is the holiday season. I know you want to have fun, but truly, if you can do a few of these, or even all, you would benefit, your business will benefit, of course, and if your business benefits, you will benefit from it. All right. Okay, now let's quickly go into some of the questions for this year, and let's see what for today. I'm saying, yeah, I'm getting very excited. This is the last for the year. And I'm very happy that I've been able to be consistent and, have this program every week. All right. Okay. So let's go to a couple of questions. Again, you can still record your questions and send the recording, by email. Of course, you can go to the website, which is always, which will be mentioned at the end of this program. All right. The first one is, what do I need to succeed in a business? Okay. A lot of us will say, oh yeah, of course you need to register and all those stuff, but I'm going to give you the biggest, to which I feel is the biggest way to succeed, is mindset. You have to have a mindset of motivation, mindset of success, because business is not easy. You wake yourself up. You're the one that pushes yourself forward. Business, to succeed in business, is you have to have the mindset to push yourself. You have to have the mindset to fall and stand up again, and stand up and fall again and stand up. Right? One of the things I love to do is I read about successful people. And many of them, I always tell people, success story is easy to tell. Yeah, people say, oh, I'm successful, this, that's it. No, people have gone through a lot to be successful. So I would say that what you need most of all is your mindset to be okay, that no matter what you see, you're going to move forward. Now, and then you're willing to listen. You're really willing to listen to constructive criticism. If somebody says, oh, this is not what's the right way to go, you don't get mad. You say, okay, let me do better, right? You look for ways, and you mix with people that can propel you forward, right? So I would say that, first of all, mindset, right? Mindset, and be able to accept criticism, constructive criticism, to do better, right? When you get that on you, totally, right? You got that, you have that mindset, then your business is moving towards success, right? Of course, I mean, going through the videos, the live shows and everything, there are some tips here and there. When you have that mindset, the next thing is, of course, mix with people that are successful in your area, in the business, right? Because like I'm a CPA in the CPA field. If you're going to be a successful hairdresser, I will give you tips right here and there. Of course, this is my area, but generally I would say that also mix with the hairdressers that are doing well, right? And find out what they are doing to succeed. So generally I'll give you basic tips, like I said, things to how to, market, all those, how to market, how to set up your business. All those are good and fine. Make sure, as I said, go through my videos, because it's a whole bunch of things to move forward in your business. But again, the very first thing is to have that mindset that you will succeed. Now, sometimes people will not help you. They will not tell you. They will not, they will even say, oh no, this is where you are. You can't do well. You need to move away from negativity, right? Constructive criticism is different from negativity. Negative people are not going to help you. All right. So mindset is so important. I hope that helps. That question. Okay. The next question is, I see, is that I want to expand my business. How do I do that? Okay, great. That means your business is doing well. You want to expand. I would say, first of all, be ready for growth. Prepare for expansion. What do I mean by that? If you want to really expand, you have to be ready. Now, if you are selling 10 items a week, expansion might be that maybe expansion might be 10,000 a week. That expansion can come like that. 10,000, it could be 10,000 a week, could be 5,000 a week. Are you ready to fulfill? How are you ready to fulfill those orders? What are you doing to make sure that you're ready for expansion, right? You're asking for expansion. Very good. I love expansion. That's what small businesses grow to become medium-sized businesses, and at the end of the day, large businesses, right? That's your goal, right? A lot of people want to do that and want to really move from side hustle to their main business, if those are doing this as a side hustle. I would say to expand, be ready for expansion. I mean, I've heard of people that they've been trying to get out there, then eventually they get out there, people get to know them, but they can't meet the orders. They can't handle expansion. So I would say be ready. Now, if you're someone that sells products, I would say, what would you do if you have 10,000 orders? You move from 2,000 to 10,000. Are you ready for that? Well, if you answer yes, then okay, great. So I would say prepare for expansion before you expand. Prepare for expansion before you expand. Because if you can't meet those orders, then from that 10,000, it'll come down to almost zero, right? Why do I say that? If myself and my friends, or we come to you sell a product, maybe a face product or something, something, it could be something that maybe you bake, I like talking about baking because it's the holiday season, but maybe you sell something and we come the first time and it's sold out. Second, it's sold out. I mean, I would look for an alternative. I'll look for somebody else that can give me the same thing. And, and very soon we won't even hear from you about you anymore. So I would say, first of all, before you are talking about expansion, be ready. Put things in place so that you will be ready for that expansion. All right. So, but of course, once you do that, you start advertising, right? Advertising. I know somebody was here last week and she mentioned the issue with how does she get out there? Start with organic advertising. Tell your friends, tell your family, right? That's one. Get advert. You have social media is such a beautiful way to advertise. It's beautiful because it's cheap. It's cheaper than just, general advertising, right? Other advertising, is cheaper. Now, we know that SMEs have limited resources, right? So, I mean, social media is a fantastic way to expand your business, right? Make sure you know your target market before you even go into social media. Just make sure you know your target market. If you're making things for kids, make sure you're not advertising to young men, right? You're advertising to mothers, right? That's where you're going to, right? So look at your target market. That's very, very important when you're looking at expansion, okay? Be ready for expansion, then do the needful to expand, okay? And congratulations, it's very good for you to even think of that. It means you're doing well from where you are, right? Very good. Okay. So yeah, I think we have time for a few more questions. And is it better to start a business or buy a business and continue that business? Well, there are a lot of advantages in buying a business, right? Because buying a business, the business is already established, right? But if you want to, I would say really it depends, but I know it's easier when you buy a business, right? But starting a business is also good because you set the culture, you set it up as you like it, right? Now, the issue with buying a business is that you need to make sure the person that maybe the business, let me step back a little bit. Maybe the business is successful because of somebody. Maybe that person is a fantastic baker and the person decides to retire and you have been in baking. You started, make sure it's good if that person stays with you for a period of time before the person decides that, oh, I'm retiring. Because sometimes people come to stores, right? Because of, especially when it comes to small businesses, they come to stores because of they like the people working in the store. Maybe the store is like a family and things like that. So it's very important for you to transition with the person, right? So just because you don't want to just buy the business and then because the key people are leaving, people decide to abandon that business, stop using their product. All right. So you have to know that It depends. I would say it depends. There's nothing wrong with starting a business. There's nothing wrong, but also there's also nothing wrong with buying a business. So I will not say one is better than other. I would say that it depends on what you're looking at. And if you do intend on buying a business, I would say that make sure that you have someone that will value the business for you, valuation. Make sure that you know the value of the business that you're buying. Make sure you look at what, if the person is owing money, if the person is if the person is, there's liability, the person is being sued, make sure you look into that, because a lot of times people say, I'm so excited to get this business. I'm so excited to buy this business, but they don't do their due diligence. Make sure you get a professional to be with you as you're thinking of buying that somebody's business. You might say, but I've known him forever. That's true. There's nothing wrong with knowing the person. We grew up together. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's very important that you do your due diligence. Let it not be that you buy a business that is being sued, but it wasn't disclosed to you, right? So make sure you do the needful. Even you might say, oh, but it's a small business. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. I mean, of course, if we don't do business valuation in my firm, but we can help to walk you through the process to make sure that we do our we help you to get your due diligence done. We do our due. I will say, let me say it another way. We do our due diligence with you to help to make sure that the business you're buying is not a troubled business. It's not a business that is almost at the verge of breaking down. That's why you're buying the business, right? That's why they're selling the business, right? Okay, because some people get so excited. Oh, this business is so cheap. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Then finally, I think I have one more. Yes, I think I have one. I have a business partner that is not productive. How do I part ways? Okay. I hope that this person entered into a business, had a contract agreement with, let me not say, contract agreement that with this person, with the partner. Please, I just want to tell everybody out there, if you want to start a business, even if it's with your sibling, it's very important for you to put everything in writing, because even siblings, they might have disagreements, but if everything is in writing, everybody knows that this is what is required. Now, I hope you did that. When you put things in writing, it's easy to part ways, but if you don't put things in writing, it's likely to be more difficult. So I would say that, talk to your partner and say, is there a way I can buy you out? Is there a way I can buy you out? That's the best way. Just have to talk to him and say, you know what, I really appreciate, what is good, but I don't think we're working well together. Can we look for a way to, buy you out, right? Can I buy you out? Now, if he doesn't agree, if it's going to be a big thing, I would say that this might be a harder thing to do, but you might have to dissolve the business and start and maybe look for a way to dissolve if he says no. But it's best, but it would be better for him to agree to, or him or her to agree that you should buy the person out. All right. Hopefully that will work for you, but again, please, anyone listening to me, make sure you put an agreement or have an agreement in place between you and anybody you're starting business with. Anybody, please, is very, very important. All right. Okay. So as I round up, I'm going to just highlight a few things that we went through in 2022. Of course, as I said, there are videos, the live shows that, and there are videos out on my platform here. But I just want to highlight a few things as I round up. A few highlights were for 2022 was marketing, right? Small businesses, a lot of people came and said, oh, how can I market? How can I market? And just to reiterate, I can't go through the whole program because it was, we had a professional that even came to speak that one of the programs. I would say, just to reiterate, make sure that you identify your target market. You cannot market if you don't know who your target market is. should I say who or what your target market is, right? Who are you marketing to, right? Are you in marketing? Are you someone that is really interested in or your product is for ladies, and you're marketing to everybody in the world, even young children? That's not your product is for women, ladies, right? So you market to these women, all right? Make sure you have a target market. That's very, very important. You might say, okay, and then, what do I need to do as per, what about I don't have resources? Start with organic marketing. Let your friends, let your family, tell people about you. A lot of people praise your food. Maybe you're into baking and back to baking because of the holiday season. Maybe you're back, you're baking and you love baking, and your friends and family say, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Who have they told? Have they told somebody? Have they told their colleague? Have they told their neighbor, right? Organic marketing is very important. And the thing is that you have to tell people what you want for them to do. And these people, they're not mean or anything, but they don't really know that this is important to you. Tell them, could you tell a friend? Could you refer me to somebody? All right. So that's one of the areas. I mean, I could break it down further, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that we talked about this year. Another topic that we talked about is staff handbook. Now, if it's you are the only person that is being employed in your company, that's fine. But once you start employing one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, you need a staff handbook to let everybody know what is expected of them. A lot of people are being sued. A lot of employers are being sued because there was no defined staff handbook. Because when I say, people have to know what is expected of them. It's not only the work. How do they behave in the office, right? It's very important. So make sure there's an episode on staff handbooks. Make sure that you look into that. Make sure you really, really look into putting things in place. A lot of small businesses, they just say, oh my goodness, it's just a small business. No, but what happens when they get sued is a different ball game. So make sure that the staff handbook is also not only read by everybody else, but is signed, that is, they have read it, they signed, right? They agree to the terms, right? So make sure that is taken care of, all right? Very important. And then I talked about staff turnover. It's so expensive for you to hire a staff, and the staff leaves in a couple of weeks, months. It's very expensive. So please know the kind of staff you hire. Make sure it's not only about the qualifications that the staff, that this potential new employee has. Make sure you have every single thing, like when I say everything, example, make sure you have your core values out front there. Make sure you have your core values. Make sure everybody knows what you believe in, what your core values are. So when somebody comes and says, I want to join the company, they say, oh my goodness, this is their core values. It's not going to work. It's not going to work with me. And they won't even apply. Make sure you appreciate your staff. Make sure that it's not only about, oh, they didn't meet up to what only them not meeting up, like only negative reviews, not positive reviews. You have to appreciate people. Make sure that, that anybody that is respectful, anybody that, there must be, respect in the company, no matter, even if there are 3 staff. That's why you have the handbook, right? Make sure you appreciate staff. Is very important. Okay, those are the few things. There's a long list, but I just wanted to highlight a few of this because it's so expensive. It's so expensive to hire, rehire. To have high staff turnover, meaning that somebody is hired today, couple of weeks, the person leaves. Remember, the cost of actually looking for a qualified staff is your time. It's expensive. The cost of training that staff. Remember, when you train that staff, it's downtime. It's expensive. So it's very important that you know who you're hiring. And please don't forget to do a background check. It doesn't matter how maybe you might say, oh, this is just an admin position. It doesn't matter. Make sure, because you want to make sure the person you're hiring is really able to work with people. You want to make sure. All right. Okay. Okay. So again, then we could go on and on. As I said, I dedicated one program, one of the episodes just to staff turnover. So please go and look into that. And then finally, I want to talk about outsourcing. I mentioned that. These are some highlights. Make sure that you look into outsourcing. Is so beneficial, because it's very expensive when you don't, when you think that, okay, you avoid having, HR, you avoid having certain maybe, should I say, staff, right? It's very expensive for you to have maybe an HR professional, an accountant, and maybe a marketer. So what people usually do is that they outsource because it's cheaper for them, right? It's cheaper for them because outsourcing is much cheaper. All right. Okay. So make sure that you outsource to your you outsource, get an accountant. We do outsource. I mean, many clients have come to us for outsourcing. All right, because they believe that they can afford a CPA on the staff, but they can afford an outsourced CPA that comes in and gives them, we charge a flat fee for outsourcing. So look into that as a small business, because you don't want to operate without having an accountant. You don't want to operate without having, even IT. IT outsourcing is so important. Security, making sure your cloud is secured. We talked about that. I'm going to bring the professional again to talk about cloud again, because it's very, very necessary. So outsourcing is very, very important, and it's cheaper it's a cheap way to get quality staff, right? Quality, not staff, quality workers to work, to help your business to succeed, to thrive. All right. Okay, finally, I want to, as we end 2022, I want to say that you guys have done a fantastic job. I want you guys to pat yourself on the back. If you have actually gotten to this 2022 and your business is still alive, pat yourself on the back. Some of us don't know how to say that, yes, we've done a great job. Pat yourself on the back and give yourself a round of applause. You don't have to wait for anybody to do that. You just pat yourself on the back. You've done a fantastic job. Many businesses started, but they did not finish this 2022. So kudos, congratulations. And I'm very, very proud of each and every one of you guys, right? So again, pat yourself on the back. Great job, good job, right? Now, I want to also add, even as we round up 2022, I want you to really have this in mind. I've said this before, but I will reiterate it. You have to be intentional. This is a year that should end and begin, with a footing of being intentional. You have to be intentional. I could go on with all the programs and nothing changes, because you are not you or the person, not you. You guys are doing well. Somebody else listens and they're not intentional. They're not pushing themselves to be all they need to be. All right. So as we end 2022, pat yourself on the back, and also, know that going forward, you will be intentional. You will sit back and say, okay, what do I need to do to move my business from one level to the other? Remember, your business must thrive, right? Must thrive. All right. Okay. So I wish you all very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you in 2023. All right. Take care. It's beautiful having all of you. Take care. Bye for now.
Thanks for having me. Remember to join my live podcast on Tuesdays, 6 to 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Visit my website, driniadesnia.com for details. Till next time, bye for now.